with that. I just have to think of something embarrassing to talk about.
I don't know, that was a pretty good roll.
Just have to pretend like you actually rolled it.
I did actually roll it. That's sick.
I mean at the time you were doing it.
We're there. I was recording the whole time.
Oh, hey, this is the Merce.
Hey, it's Felton. Got him.
Got him. Oh, man, we were so terrible at this podcasting thing. So we're back again. All right, so
back at it again with those white vans.
Back at it again. All right. Anyways, one thing I would like to talk to you and any listener about. I'm very upset with all my quote-unquote friends on Facebook. You know, all these people that are in my friend, slot on Facebook, because I am now 39 years old, and I've gone this entire time without ever once being told to watch Veronica Mars.
You know, I never watched Veronica Mars.
Then you need to be mad at your friends as well, because this show, like, I've just started from season 1, and she's just a teenage high school detective, but the writing is done so well that it's actually very entertaining, and there's some like hardcore topics they discuss in there. Now, I thought because her name was Veronica Mars that we were gonna have like some kind of paranormal stuff or like some kind of like Indiana kind of stuff.
Indiana. That was an amazing
show. I loved that show. Was fantastic. Or maybe even like a Eureka kind of thing, but none of that stuff is in this. It's basically like a hard-boiled detective show, but done for at high school.
It's Kristen Bell, right?
I believe so. I don't really know off the top of my head.
That's why it's so good.
But they just came out with the 4th season, so I was like, you know what? Let me give this show a looky-loo, a little peeper peep, And of course, I can't start from the 4th season. I had to start from the 1st season. But let me tell you, me and Foxtail have really like become addicted to it. It's really good. So I, as your friend, am recommending that you watch Veronica Mars, and I recommend that anybody else who has not watched it, watch it.
She looks so young.
She looks the same to me, though. She still looks like the same person. Like, well, she's the same person, but she's still, she's aged very well.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Kristen Bell's amazing. I mean, she really is.
Now we're gonna get that Ode to Kristen Bell poem out that you have been pining over for a while, huh?
Listen, my art is my art, and I shared that with you one time, and I told you can't harass me with that. It's Kristen Bell art, okay?
There is no safe zone on this podcast. I thought we've already established this.
Just because I wear a silicone replica Dax Shepard mask and pretend that I live with Kristen Bell, which is a face that goes around the house on a Roomba, okay, doesn't mean that I'm a weirdo.
I mean, it kind of does. I'm not gonna lie.
Well.
All right. Well, let's get into the comic book news while you pine over that. So I think I discussed recently that Jonathan Hickman was kind of revamping the whole XMen thing for Marvel.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Jonathan Hickman's books are going to basically set the tone for the next X-Men books to come after that, and they've just released what those X books will be. All right. So I've got a list of them. It's six X books that are going to follow after the Hickman story arcs. Okay.
Okay.
And the first one is going to be X-Men, of course, and Jonathan Hickman is going to be the writer on that when it first comes out. Basically, that's going to be the story of like Cyclops, basically leading his hand-picked team, which will be interesting to see how that works out because I mean, Cyclops went through this whole metamorphosis where he became a douchebag, killed Professor X, like all this kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how he brings Cyclops back into the fold. Next will be Excalibur. And that one's gonna deal more with like magic and going to alternate worlds. But the crazy thing about that is one of the team members is Apocalypse. He's one of the X-Men in that, which that sounds interesting as hell to me. I really want to see what happens there. Next up we have the Marauders, and the Marauders used to be back in the day they were mutant hunters. They weren't necessarily mutants themselves. Most of them were cyborgs, if I remember correctly, and they would hunt down the mutants. But this one is a band of mutants, and it looks to me like it's gonna be like mutant pirates, basically. Like it's the X-Men on the sea, going from country to country, basically writing atrocities against mutants. There's not a whole lot of information on these books yet, so there's a little speculation there. They're bringing back New Mutants, and it's going to be the classic New Mutants characters, but with some new team members from like Generation X and such. And they're gonna their adventures are actually going to take them to space, where they'll be hooking up with the Space Jammers, which one of my favorite little like side groups back in the day from the 80s and 90s. The original Starjammers were led by Cyclops and Havoc's father, and they're kind of like space pirates. So we got two almost piratey kind of things going on. So I don't know, maybe Hickman just likes pirates.
Yeah,
that's true. Pirates are pretty fantastic. Next we have Fallen Angels, which Fallen Angels was actually the predecessor to New Mutants. So I'm interested to see what that's going to be about. It looks like Psylocke is going to be leading a team who are out on a vengeance mission. So it looks like it's going to be like a darker kind of assassin kind of book. I don't know. Again, these are all kind of speculation. Then the last one we have is X-Force, and that's like the CIA of the mutant world is basically how they described it, which will be interesting. I guess they're going to police the other teams and other mutants, and that one's going to have like Jean Grey in it, and I believe Cable and such, so it'll be interesting to see. So look forward to these new X books coming out after Jonathan Hickman's run on, I believe he's doing, what was it? I forget what the names of them are right now, but it's basically 2 miniseries that'll come out before this. So I'm excited to see how that runs. Yeah, so that's the comic book news, as it were. Now, you, my friend, last podcast, however long ago it was, definitely wasn't just a few minutes ago.
No.
I put you on the spot when it came to video game news. So instead of putting you on the spot now, if you've got video game news, awesome. But I'm going to bring up the video game news. Oh, do you?
Oh, okay, you go first, and then I'll share my updates, because I do have another update.
Okay. Well, mine is actually kind of an update as well. It's about the Pokemon Sword and Shield game coming out for Switch.
Yeah, was that the one with the giant ice dragons that you fight in the wilderness and have to kill?
Yeah.
With large swords?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, since it's not a PC game, then obviously you don't keep track of it. That's
Hunter,
fine.
Though. You hunted monsters in it, right? It's Monster Hunter.
Just admit that you are elitist, that you are part of the master race of PC gamers, and that the rest of us that don't PC game as much as you are just peasants in your eyes. It's okay.
Yeah, well, that's
it's perfectly fine. But for us console gamers, who also PC game at times, the Sword and Shield game, basically it takes place in another area, another land. It's like it takes on the British tropes and things like that. And what the controversy is Nintendo recently released a platform or an app they're going to have where it's going to be licensed by Nintendo, I guess, which instead of like all the other apps where like the Pokebank and things like that, we're not really licensed by Nintendo, where you can download your Pokemon from previous games and put them into new games. Well, the controversy is that with the Pokemon Sword and Shield, you will not be able to take any of your Pokemon from previous games and put them in this game unless they exist in the Pokédex of the new Pokemon Sword and Shield games. So in other words, if let's say that they don't have a Pikachu, which they do, but let's say they don't have a Pikachu in the new Sword and Shield game, you will not be able to take a Pikachu from a previous game and put it into this game. And so that has gotten a lot of hardcore Pokemon gamers uptight. Me personally, I don't care, but I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, so I really only have just gotten into Pokemon in the last couple of years. But the reason for this, from what the developers are saying, is that this is their first Pokemon console game, right? This is the first Pokemon game on console that's an actual Pokemon installation. It's actually, considered a actual true Pokemon game. This time around, they were able to do so much with the graphics and such that it took them more energy and time than they probably expected it would to render these Pokemon that are in the game, the new Pokemon and then the returning Pokemon that they're using in this game. So because of that, you're going to have better quality graphics, cooler moves, cooler looking Pokemon. The downside of that is that, they at this time don't have every single Pokemon rendered for the game. So that's not to say that in future installments you won't be able to download other Pokemon, or not future installments, but downloads and expansions and stuff like that. You'll probably be able updates. That's where I'm going. Updates. Brain's just not functioning right now. Sorry.
Listen, I know that you're upset that you might not have Mr. Mime out of the box. Okay, I know he's your favorite Pokemon.
And it does piss me off because I love that sense of creepiness right out the gate. I love just beating other Pokemons. Yeah, creepy joy. So later on, we probably will see these other Pokemon, being able to be introduced into Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's just right out the box. No, you're only going to be able to get the ones that are in the. I believe it's the Galar. Pokédex is this area is called Galar, I believe, something like that. So. Just basically what I'm trying to do is this is almost like a public service announcement to hardcore Pokemon fans. Just relax, take a breath, go back to those old Pokemon games with your Pokemon that can't be transferred into this game, and just enjoy them for the time that you had then, mourn their loss, and move on. You're going to find brand new, more adorable Pokemon in this new game, and some of them are going to become your new favorites. Right? You won't be able to take some of these new favorites backwards into the other Poke games, so why are you so upset that you can't bring some of your older Pokemon into this newer game? And that has been a word with David.
I don't think I don't think you're allowed to do a heartwarming PSA like that, because that sounded like very professional. Very heartwarming. Like I don't even know what to do right now. I can't follow up that.
Did you get a little tear?
I'm just a garbage person. Oh my god.
Well, let's hear your crappy PC gaming news, Mr. Elitist.
No. You know what? I'm just gonna shut my mouth. So I've been talking about the the Google Stadia, something I've been monitoring, watching news stories for. It seems as though as it becomes closer and closer to the production of the play, as it were, as they start to go into the final phases of launching it, learning more and more about their business model and what it's going to be, it just seems like they're looking to just have a huge money grab. So the subscription is going to cost, the premium subscription is going to cost $120 a year. Okay, which I know some Xbox and other, paid subscription services, and which again that breaks down to what, $10 a month, right? And again, that's for the super, ultimate, access. Problem is,
which you'll have to have a really good internet connection for that, correct?
You'll have to have a decent connection for it, but they said even on any broadband connection, whatever, allegedly it works. But the thing of it is you're still going to have to buy games for full price on this. They're not cutting you any discount. Now, granted, they've said there will be a growing library of games that might not include DLC. So if you're looking to basically pop your Destiny character over to Google Stadia, no, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to have to buy Destiny 2. You're going to have to buy all the DLC and start from scratch. So for these long-term games, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be a real, just easy transfer over option, because it's going to be a completely different platform, possibly completely different servers. I mean, who knows? So we'll see. Plus, they as they release more and more information, on the business models, they're offering different models, like the pro subscribers are going to get like 4K streaming, right? So it seems like your subscription rate is also going to determine your visual quality rate. So I mean, I'm wondering, are they doing that because you might only want to pay $5 a month if you have broadband and you can't stream 4K video? Is that the reason? And if you can, if you can stream the 4K, then I guess you pay the $10 a month. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
Can I just say now? Can I go on record now as saying I see this falling flat on his face?
Yeah.
This version falling flat on his face. I see either them coming back and revamping with something better, or another company coming in and doing the same thing but better, and it working really well.
They listen in the background, they see what people don't like about it, and they make those changes and offer a better service.
Exactly.
Why reinvent the wheel when somebody else already made it?
It's just like all these streaming services and things like that, that kind of sat back, watched, let's say Netflix and Hulu and things like that as they started out, and they were like, let me try doing that myself. Now, of course, Hulu and Netflix have skyrocketed and done very well for themselves, but a lot of times when it comes to gaming and things like that, we see people trying to jump the shark, as it were, and them failing miserably at it. Things like the Dreamcast. What was that? The Jaguar back in the day.
Yeah, I would say
things like that
was a pretty successful console. I think the Dreamcast actually fell to the wayside because no one made games for it because it got too old.
It had a very short shelf life, my friend. Like,
it was popular though. I mean, the Dreamcast had some really good titles, and I remember there were a lot of people that loved it.
I think that you're remembering it with rose-tinted glasses, because I loved the Dreamcast. I thought it was well ahead of its time, and I felt like being able to carry around the little Tamagotchi Sonic egg people things to play with while you're at school and stuff was fantastic. I'm talking about on the memory card.
Yeah, you bring the memory card with you. You could farm shit and make just a better experience.
But when you get down to it, it was blown out of the water by Nintendo and PlayStation. Like,
then Nintendo stole the idea. Now we have the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, exactly. But the worst part about it is the fact that like Nintendo and PlayStation didn't really go in and work off of those things that the Dreamcast was trying to do, because they knew that they were too experimental, too new for certain people, I guess, to really latch onto. So that's all I'm saying is when it comes to the video game systems in general, I feel like if you try to go too far in the future, because people are slow to evolve sometimes, you end up falling flat on your face.
Adopt, rather. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look at VR. VR has had a really slow gathering. They even said that, everybody, just listen here right now. VR isn't going to make it past 2018. It's going to be dead by next year. And look, you've got tons and tons and tons of money continued to be invested into it because... let's face it, man. I truly, deeply, honestly believe that VR is going to be, if not a version of it, you're going to have some kind of augmented reality goggle that is clear that you can turn on, and then it will flood your vision with the VR graphics, and whatnot. But
eventually we'll be there.
Yeah.
But this is a fight they've had since the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
This has been an uphill battle since the 80s.
Not a lot of people know this, but the tracking technology a lot of these systems use is the same tracking that the Power Glove used.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same technology, just updated graphics, basically.
And I mean, better mechanics and things like that too. But still, yeah, it's
they went and they took every single Power Glove apart.
I just see a bunch of like Nintendo executives going to garage sales and stuff like that, like
buying the Power Gloves. We need the sensors for the TV. Yeah, we gotta make more Oculus Rift sensors.
Oh, is that the Olympics pad you have there? The little little running jumping pad.
The Nintendo pad.
Let me get that too while we're at it. Like, how much? $2? Can you do 150?
Oh my god. I remember playing the track game on that and figuring out that if you slammed your heels just right, you could get the character to run absurdly fast. And you could perform like Superman in all these events. Just, oh my god, that game was we had such good times playing that game.
Well, it's just like when the Wii came out, and I learned in the Wii Bowling that if you bowl just a certain way,
It's fine.
They do not like Wii Bowling.
No, a branch hit my roof, so they're not freaking out.
Give it a minute.
Hush. There we go. It stopped.
All right, 3, 2. Yeah. So when I found out that you could bowl just in a certain way. Sorry if this sounds like a weird, jarring thing because we just had a dog attack again. But if you bowled in a certain way in Wii, you get perfect strike every time. And then it just became boring because you just sit there and do that same exact move every time and get a strike every time. So
I seem to remember somebody doing that at all the LAN parties.
I am neither going to confirm nor deny that that happened. For those of you that don't know, the way that Felt and I actually met was there was a gaming center called Gamer HQ, and it was in Palm Bay, and in this place it had PCs all set up for LAN parties, also for going online, and in the back there was 2 consoles. Two setups for consoles. There's 2 Xboxes and then 1 Wii, and we used to have LAN parties, all night LAN parties where you'd be playing games all night long, all the way through into the morning. Now, of course, since I worked there, I didn't really get a PC typically because we had to make sure that there was PCs for everybody to play on. So I spent a lot of time playing like the Wii in the back. And sometimes when you're sleep deprived and full of Balls energy drinks, by the way, Balls energy drinks, not
that stuff
anything else
good.
but Balls energy drinks.
Oh my lord!
And pizza, you just find yourself mindlessly bowling on the Wii like a zombie, just doing the same moves over and over again.
I think that's a good segue to share some news about a friend of the show.
Okay.
If you want to have a cool gamer lounge experience, you could head over to Gamers Respawn. The address just disappeared. There you go. 865 Palm Bay Road, Northeast. Number 101, West Melbourne, Florida is where they're at. And I've gone there before, and it's a super cool place. I've
actually been there recently because they gave us some more giveaways for the nub. And let me tell you, man, I don't know, when's the last time you were in there?
Oh, it's been a while. My schedule is pretty donkey poop.
Well, get in there soon because it looks gorgeous in there.
I feel like I want to go in fumbling around like a detective Clouseau
Pikachu?
and Detective Pikachu. Just be like, oh, I hear you got virtual reality here. I've been wanting to try this Beat Saber game. Really interested in it, and then acting like a total amateur, and then putting it on Expert Plus and completely just tearing it apart and wowing everybody. Like, oh, it's the first time I played it. That was pretty fun.
Like a gamer shark,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's make this interesting.
Yeah, let's make this interesting.
You want $20?
I bet you I can get a perfect score on Rockefeller Street on Expert Plus.
Yeah, no, they gave us some cool giveaways. They actually just had their what do you call it? Reopening, grand reopening. And which I don't think they ever closed, but it was a grand reopening. So
did they refurbish some stuff? I think they added in a couch in the front.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. You have to go in there. It looks gorgeous. They have a gaming table in there, so if you want to do some card games or board games and stuff like that, they've got that too. If they're having a LAN party and you just have to step away from gaming for a little while. But all the seats are comfortable as hell. Everything is just very very professional looking, very very nice.
They've got a whole wall of console gaming.
Of consoles, yeah.
PCs in the middle and VR on the right. Yep. It is a super. Yep. We're not being sponsored. I don't. Obviously.
No.
I think we have to say
nobody.
That.
Well, I mean, we get stuff to give away to you guys as prizes, but we're not being sponsored. Nobody gives us any money or anything like that.
Sponsored. I just really like the place, and I want you guys to go there.
We don't even get discounts or anything like that. We don't get anything.
Nothing. They don't even know who I am. I just show up and pay money and just sweet. Oh yeah, sweet. This is how I am social these days because I have no life outside of work.
But honestly, I mean, that's what the nub's about. We're not about getting money or getting discounts or getting free stuff. We're strictly about making sure that the nerd community knows about things going on in the nerd community. That's all we really care about.
Well, and the fame.
And the fame, yeah, the absolute fame. Walking down the street Oh man, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy how
You're
many
at
people are
Walgreens,
just like,
somebody recognizes you, and then just next
right?
thing you know, you're...
Actually, that did happen once.
I
That
know.
was
I
weird.
remember that you told me about
That
it.
was really weird. It's only ever happened once, but it was weird.
I told you about that cosplayer I ran into at Dragon Con, right? That Bradley Spears.
No.
He does.
Well, maybe you did, but maybe I
he
forgot.
does some really good cosplay, but he has an amazing Preston Garvey character from Fallout 4, and he's one of the Minutemen militia, and he has this like trench coat and this like tricorn hat, and this dude, I mean, he looks like the guy kind of, but he does the stubble, and he's got the Pip Boy, and I mean he's got the whole ensemble, and he did this great little video that went viral. And he had kind of has a decent cosplay following. And I saw him in the main lobby at Dragon Con, and the Marriott, I think, the one that has a huge atrium that we were in. And I said, "Oh my God, is that can I get a picture with you?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And I was dressed up as Beetlejuice. I said, "Hey man, are you Bradley Spears? Because I follow you on Facebook. I love your content, man. You're a funny guy. I love your post." And he his heart stopped, and he was so just taken aback by that he was recognized. He's like, "Oh man, this is the first time anybody's recognized me from my page." And then he went and
awesome.
posted about how that made his whole Dragon Con that year was because somebody recognized him.
Well, especially because it wasn't just somebody, I do remember you told me the story. Didn't it follow up with, he was like, "Wait, aren't you Felton Hot Glue of Nerds United and Brevard?"
Oh yeah, that totally happened. Yeah, that was absolutely.
Then you tattooed his forehead, right? Something like that.
Yeah, tattooed.
Now the poor guy
in Brevard. Yeah, exactly.
Poor guy walks out with Felton Hot Glue of Nerds United and Brevard tattooed on his forehead.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, I just wanted to throw this in here. Have you ever heard of the anime from back in the day called Battle of the Planets?
Oh, the name sounds familiar.
So it was an anime where it was all the characters, all the main good guy characters had these. Yeah, it's pretty old. They had what almost looked like bird costumes on, but they would fly these spaceships, and they had these space battles with another planet that was trying to take over their planet. And I mean, it was very, very popular in Japan. And actually, the Japanese name cracks me up. I had to look it up because it cracks me up. The Japanese name of it was Science Ninja Team Goliath Men. No, I'm sorry, no, not. Yeah, something like that. Gatchamen. No, I'm sorry. It was Science Ninja Team Gatchamen was the original name.
Yeah,
of it.
I recognize the characters. Yeah.
But anyways, the Russo brothers have made an announcement, I guess, at SDCC, which we are not at, of course, because we're losers. But they made an announcement that they're going to do a feature film for this for that franchise. And it's not clear yet whether it's going to be anime or live action, but either way, I'm pretty excited. I really hope, though, that they take the Japanese name and not the American name, because Battle of the Planet sounds cool, but Science Ninja Team Gatchamen, so much better.
I got to say, though, those Russo brothers, they're my favorite siblings since the Wachowskis kind of, went crazy with that whole second and third Matrix movie and kind of ruined the trilogy.
Yeah, they should just kept it, with the one Matrix movie and just left it, like the spinning top at the end of
Inception. There was never another Inception movie. We didn't need another Inception movie.
Nope.
End it right there. It was great.
Was Neo the chosen one? Was he not the chosen one? We could have lived our whole lives with that.
I told you my fan theory that John Wick is going to come out and it's going to be like a secret sequel to the Matrix, and it's going to turn out that this whole new simulation was made to keep the one under control.
I think that is going to be the reality, but at the same time, I feel like what's going to end up happening is that we're going to find out that this whole time, all these iterations have really just been Ted Theodore Logan and Bill S. Esquire in the new Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Jesus, they're gonna do all this advertisement for John Wick 4, and then it's gonna come out that all this time, every Keanu Reeves movie was just some virtual reality
Yep.
simulation that he was in. Just this poor kid getting his mind just tossed to infinity in this alternate life, and he's going to be like, "Whoa, I know."
And the worst part about it, exactly, that's what I was going to say. It's hidden in plain sight because that one line in the Matrix, "Whoa, I know kung fu." It's like that Easter egg's been there the whole time.
Even his life as Keanu Reeves and starring in Cyberpunk 2077, all of that is all going to be part of this crazy AI simulation virtual reality game that he was playing. Kind of like Roy. It's going to be a game like Roy.
I'm telling you.
Roy the Rocket.
Yep. I'm telling you.
That's why you never
mark
leave.
My
that's
words.
why I leave the carpet store, Morty.
I'm telling you right now, Keanu Reeves doesn't even exist as an actor or a real person in real life. He is from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Which one is he? He's
Bill
Ted,
S.
right?
Preston and Theodore Logan.
Yeah, it's Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan.
Yep.
So actually, he's Bill because his father's the cop and wants to send him off to military school. That's right. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, guys. Sorry, but yeah. So we're gonna find out that this whole time it's been Bill.
Keanu Reeves apparently just randomly showed up at somebody's house. They had a sign outside their house that said something like "You're breathtaking," and he was driving by it and just like surprised him. If I remember the story correctly.
What the hell?
They had like
I'll put that sign outside my door right now.
They had like some Keanu Reeves meme thing outside their house. Then he just I again, in the comments, if I'm a dumbass, let me know that I got that completely wrong. I remember it was one of my toilet novels I was reading. I like to read articles from various sources, including nerdbastards.com.
Thanks.
Those are some good articles to read.
Well, I mean, if we're doing a plug there, I might as well let you know that I actually just finished up an article interview with Mr. Cecil Garner, also known as Cecil Grimes Cosplay, which will be it's at the editor right now, so
I'm gonna read
should be coming out
because
later this week.
I know that guy has a really interesting story. So now I'm already hooked because I want to know, because I know mutual people who've known him since before he is doing what he's doing now. So I'm just curious to see firsthand what your interview was with him just to hear what his story actually is.
Well, first off, let me say, really nice guy.
Yeah, really,
really nice guy. Very down to earth, very humble. He's not, for the amount of fame and everything that he's had, he's not letting it go to his head, it seems like. I mean, I know that we talked about in the past when we saw him at cons and stuff like that, I wonder if this guy is like a D-bag or whatever because of, all the recognition he's getting, but really he's not. I mean, after doing the interview with them and everything.
I just think we were witnessing the hustle, I think we were just watching him do his thing, do his job,
But let me tell you, he's made a career out of what he does, and it's really paid off well for him. He's doing very good. So,
awesome.
Anyways, that's my little Nerd Bastards plug. Nerdbastards.com. Check it out. Actually, we are at almost the 30-minute mark.
Yep, we are a little bit over, but we cut it a little bit short last time.
So let's go ahead and do that Dive Destiny.
You want me to roll that? All right, here we go. I'm doing it for real this time. Oh,
I mean, we could go with...
Oh, okay.
Come on, one. Come on, one. Come on,
9.
one.
Oh, thank God. It landed on the floor. I played it as it lied.
I just want you guys to know how much of a stand-up guy Felton is, because he actually grabbed his D20 right before we started to cast, and he accidentally dropped it, and it landed. It was a 20, and he was like, I should totally use this. I should totally use this to make you say something embarrassing. I was totally going to go along with it. I was perfectly okay with it. But then he decided to be the stand-up guy that he is, and went ahead and rolled it again. And luckily, I don't have to tell you guys anything embarrassing this week.
Well, I went to roll it, and then it dropped on the floor, and then I read it as a 9 on the floor. So,
just reminding you guys, we do a roll of the Die of Destiny at the end of each of our podcasts now. Whoever it is that's rolling it. If it's a 20, that person who's rolling it gets to make the other person tell an embarrassing story. If that person rolling it rolls a 1, then they themselves have to tell an embarrassing story. So, luckily, we've only had it happen once, and it happened to me. and that was fantastic.
Mm.
And if you want to know what I talked about, you'll have to go back to our old episodes and listen.
So just some housekeeping.
It was a shitty situation. Go ahead.
So I think some housekeeping. I'm gonna start digging through our old episodes, reading through some comments, see if we get any comments. If there's anything you'd like us to touch upon, or any revisions, or just you just want to shout at me, that's okay too. You can shout at me,
or correct me because I'm always wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna be checking out the comments. I'll do another short section along with my gaming news. Just we'll just call it Felton checking out the comments, and we'll see. We'll see where we can go there.
We should come up with like a little music to go with that or something, like Felton checking out the comments. Ba, ba, ba.
I'll start watching a lot of the Good Morning shows and see if there's like a jingle I can copy or steal. Yeah, just rip it off. Get those copyright content claims going. Oof.
Exactly. Hey, that's how you get attention, though, right?
Copyright claim Olympics.
Yes. All right. Well, we're a little over, but like he said last time, we were a little under, so we'll give you a little extra this time. And I guess we gotta stop it now. So I'm the Merce.
It's me, Felton.
It's still him, Felton. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Like and subscribe.